Why does agonizing over a simple text message drain your physical energy, leaving you completely exhausted before you make one single move? You sit doing nothing, yet your heart races and your brain feels like a heavy car engine revving in neutral for 3 straight hours. This is the painful reality of the paralysis of analysis, a hidden trap where endless mental simulations trick you into feeling intensely productive. We spend countless hours planning, worrying, and playing out every disastrous scenario in our heads, mistakenly believing we are preparing for the upcoming battle. But in reality, you are just burning massive amounts of mental fuel while your physical body remains completely frozen in a state of absolute inaction. To understand this frustrating paralysis, we must look inside your skull at a chaotic system known as the default mode network. Think of this network as a loud, relentless background engine that automatically powers on the second your mind wanders into past regrets or future anxieties. When you obsess over an awkward conversation from 5 years ago, this network floods your system with intense neurological activity and massive stress hormones. Your brain cannot distinguish between a real physical threat standing right in front of you and a terrifying scenario you just invented in your imagination. As you overthink, this hyperactive default network hijacks all available energy, turning a simple task like writing one email into a grueling marathon. The mental friction becomes so intense that your biological battery drains rapidly, causing literal physical fatigue without moving one single muscle in your body. Here is the critical clash. Your ability to physically act is controlled by a completely different region called the motor cortex. Neuroscience reveals that thinking and doing operate on a strict neurological seesaw. They cannot both be highly active at the exact same time. When your overthinking engine revs up to maximum capacity, it forcefully suppresses the motor cortex, actively chaining down your frontal lobe execution functions. This means overthinking is not just a harmless bad habit or a sign of being thorough. It is literal, measurable neurological paralysis holding you back. You mentally demand yourself to start working, but the neurological pathways required to move your hand and type are blocked by your own racing thoughts. Your mind expands into pure, chaotic infinity, analyzing 100 different outcomes, while your physical body sits trapped, completely unable to take one tiny step. Every single hypothetical scenario you generate adds another heavy iron cable across your shoulders, cementing your feet deeper into the floor of chronic procrastination. The more aggressively you stare at the problem, trying to mentally solve it through sheer willpower, the tighter the neurological chains wrap around your limbs. This creates a vicious cycle of intense guilt, where you punish yourself for being lazy, even though your brain is working 10 times too hard. You are pressing the gas pedal entirely to the floor, but the transmission is permanently stuck in neutral, burning the engine out completely. Until you learn how to forcibly shut down this overactive default network, you will remain a helpless prisoner inside your own brilliant, overactive mind. But there is a scientifically proven way to break the glass, flip the switch, and instantly transfer power back to your physical body. If you want to unlock your brain and permanently break free from this hidden loop of paralysis, hit that subscribe button right now. We decode the deepest mysteries of the mind every single week, giving you the practical tools to finally master your own psychology. To figure out why our brains betray us this way, we have to look at a massive evolutionary mismatch inside your skull. For millions of years, our nervous systems were specifically wired to simulate immediate, life-or-death survival threats, like a tiger hiding in the bushes. If your ancestors did not aggressively overthink the rustling leaves, they died, making anxiety a highly effective biological shield against physical danger. But today, that ancient survival software is being hammered by endless capitalist stressors, like demanding clients, social media comparisons, and deep career anxiety. Because these modern threats never physically attack you, your brain never gets the signal to shut off, leaving the danger engine running indefinitely. This evolutionary glitch creates a dangerous psychological trap known as the regret loop, a cycle that permanently disables your ability to function. When you violently analyze a past mistake, your brain experiences that old memory as a brand new, highly active, and immediate threat. Replaying an old failure triggers the exact same default mode network overload as actively worrying about a terrifying catastrophe 10 years in the future. Whether you are trapped in the unchangeable past or the unpredictable future, your neurological resources are being completely drained in the exact same way. And as long as that imaginary time-traveling engine remains active, your motor cortex is forced to stay under absolute lockdown, preventing all movement. Here is the ultimate breakthrough. You cannot simply think your way out of overthinking because you are trying to fight the brain using the brain. To escape this paralysis, you must brutally hijack the system through a completely different neurological pathway, known as the sensory cortex. The physical interruption is your first weapon. Apply a sudden, intensely sharp physical stimulus to your body, like violently gripping a handful of ice. Alternatively, force yourself to drop down and execute a rapid set of 20 explosive squats to flood your bloodstream with immediate biological feedback. This intense sensory shock forcefully commands your nervous system to instantly redirect power away from the overthinking network and back into physical reality. Once you have interrupted the brain, you must immediately deploy the micro-action blueprint by permanently discarding your grand, overwhelming master plan. Engage your frontal lobe by demanding an absurdly small, 1-minute physical action that requires absolute zero mental preparation or complex strategy. Do not write the whole essay. Simply write exactly one single word on a blank notepad and forcefully slam the pen down. Do not clean the entire apartment. Just pick up one single object on your desk and move it precisely 5 inches to the right. This ridiculously simple micro-action acts as a mechanical spark, physically turning the ignition key inside your dormant motor cortex. Once the body moves, the brain follows, violently breaking the heavy neurological chains of overthinking and releasing you from the paralysis trap. Action cures fear, and momentum destroys doubt. The moment you take one physical step, your mind stops spinning and starts functioning. Stop trying to figure out the final 100 steps of your journey before you have even found the courage to take the first. Your life is built in the real physical world, not in the endless, exhausting simulations of your default mode network. Interrupt the brain, take one micro-action, and physically reclaim the power to move forward. The escape from the regret loop starts right now.